Okay, just wanting to catch up on this post that I made on the 9th of November. It's now the 17th of November, so we're talking 8 days on, and I predicted on the 9th of November that we are likely to see another breakup in price on the Bitcoin in the next couple of weeks. That's what I said on the 9th of November. We've now just hit that 17th of November. Now we're in a very interesting position because also on the 9th of November, I didn't know this at the time, but the 9th of November, the Indian president decided to give 4 hours notice that 500 and 1,000 rupee notes in India would no longer be legal tender. That took 86% of the cash currency out of the Indian market. Now that means there's a lot, a huge number of people in the Indian continent who are looking for somewhere better to carry their cash. Now, it's going to be tricky for them to get into Bitcoin, but once they start doing it, then that is one of those big momentum changes in the world that we could see as billions, 1.2 billion people possibly start moving, albeit relatively small amounts of currency, but 1.2 billion people on the planet, almost 1/7 of the population of the world, of the universe, start moving potentially into Bitcoin. So that's another factor which is bearing down on this. So let's go and have a look at the Bitcoin price. This is at tradingview.com, and I'm looking at the 4-hourly chart. So the 9th of November was here, so I was saying, look, as it was coming up to this point, it was getting close. We'd expected a breather, what's called a retracement, comes back, and then it's gone for another push, and we've now actually exceeded the price we were at. So if we draw the line across here, then we can see this thin blue line. We've broken through just in the last 4 hours or so this previous high. Now this is huge news because it does mean it's broken the high. It was the third push to this point. 1, 2, 3, third one. Now it may well come back and fail, but the likelihood is now that it will continue this upward price. It will have a retracement at some point, but we're now breaking into new heights. So it really is a fascinating currency to speculate on. Let me just go and show you, if I can, for the last, this is the daily chart. We can see here that's broken that high, and certainly if it gets above these highs back in June, $773 per Bitcoin, then that would be a definite confirmation of this breakout that we're seeing here. So things are getting really interesting for this. Let me just also take you to my Coinbase account, and here we can see on the price chart the last month. Again, here's the three bounces, 1, 2, 3. And if we continue this breakthrough here, that again being the third time, that's very often an indication of a continuation on that price. If we look at the yearly change, so on the month we've made 15%, on the year we're up 168% on where it was just 12 months ago. Now worth £599.55 per Bitcoin. If you don't have Bitcoin yet, I'm not promoting some network opportunity or anything like that. I'm just simply saying you should have Bitcoin. This is one of the fastest growing assets on the planet, growing far faster than gold. It's a limited source. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin in total circulation. A lot are getting lost. A lot are owned by people who are dying, and therefore no one knows where those Bitcoin are. They don't know quite how to show that with other people and things like that. So it's a very limited supply, but the demand can only go up. The only reason the demand would go down is if there was a breakage in the security of Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is now 8 years old. That's not being found, considering the number of hackers there are that would want to get their grubby fingers on a whole chunk of Bitcoin when it's such a high value. It's currently $11 billion worth of value in Bitcoin. If you owned all the Bitcoin, you'd have $11 billion worth of assets. That's just a drop in the ocean still, I believe. I think in the longer term, medium to long term, we will see Bitcoin phenomenally higher than it is now. So I do recommend you get some Bitcoin. If you want to know how to get Bitcoin, then use my link in the instructions. That will take you to Coinbase. You can buy Bitcoin with a debit card in Coinbase. And if you buy $100, £100, €100, then you'll get another 10 completely free if you use my link as an introduction. That will also get you into the Bitcoin. You'll see how easy it is to buy other things with Bitcoin, move Bitcoin around and so on. Once you understand it, you really do see the power of it. It's just over 12 months ago I got my first Bitcoin, and it really is very, very powerful, very, very dynamic, and it would appear very secure, far more secure than having physical currency. When you've got the president of one of the biggest nations in the world just suddenly says, right, we're not going to accept 86% of our own currency, and you got 4 hours notice. I mean, that's really scary stuff. But they can't take Bitcoin off you. Bitcoin will be the one thing which will empower the people, I think. The other thing, just quickly as well, once you're in Bitcoin, then I can see the flow going into other currencies as well. If we just go and look at coinmarketcap.com, we look at all the currencies, the virtual currencies, and once people get into Bitcoin, they can then transfer those into other currencies very easily. So we're seeing a big rise on Bitcoin recently, which has depressed the other prices because they're all relative to Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin takes a breather, more money is coming into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the leader. That's the one that's, we're at 12 billion now. So 12 billion currency, capitalization rather, in Bitcoin. And once people get into Bitcoin, they tend to stick with it because they see it as a medium to long-term investment, and the money will flow into the other major cryptocurrencies as well. Another one I'm very keen on is Ripple. Monero is looking very good as well, and there's quite a few. But anyway, just focus on getting some Bitcoin first of all, see how easy it is, and you can do that. So check out the link to-go.co.uk/Bitcoin. Join at Coinbase, one of the biggest exchanges, and you can purchase your Bitcoin instantly, have them in your wallet at Coinbase, and then you can just transfer them very easily to the exchanges. You can trade them if you want, but just lock them away. My advice would be put a good proportion, put some savings, put some investment in Bitcoin, tuck it away for 5 to 10 years, and you could become extremely wealthy from that.